At what point does adhere mean break your own morals and values and bend over and take one?
No, but I wouldn't. But I've lost millions probably because I've stuck true to who I am. When you aggravate the situation and you try to take on a powerhouse such as the system and any governments out there, then you're going to lose, full stop.
Like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on.
You know, you cannot beat the system, you cannot beat, but you can outsmart it.
Who runs the system?
Well, this is the question, isn't it?
That's why I've asked it.
Who runs it? The government certainly doesn't. You know, you look at the government, we've got someone in power. This is how, I don't like to use the word brainwash or how, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? In the UK, you know, we've got a president, we've got a prime minister at the moment who hasn't been voted in. But we just quite happily sit back and go, oh yeah, that's absolutely fine. You know, we'll let that person make all the decisions. And when has that been okay? When is you know? It's like, wow. Talk about politics being outdated. You know, trying to keep up with modern day society. Of course, it's outdated, but they've got certain ways that keep you in the system.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna update because it's not gonna get work with the acceleration of how society's going because. You know, if not, then everyone would be what they want, who they want, how they want, and so.
So yeah, just quickly, Ant, the irony of that is the guy who's running our country at the moment wasn't voted in by us, but he was defeated by the last person that wasn't voted in by us, and that person wasn't exited by us.
I know.
I mean, is that not irony?
The thing about it, that's what I mean. I could go quite deeply into the politics of it. But it's a case of
we've got the room for the day, so you can go as deep as you like.
Let's do it. But it's all it is in my head is I don't agree with that. You know, that's my personal opinion. I'm not saying that if you agree with it, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I've got no problems with people wanting to be who they want. You know, how they want to, be known as, or what they want to be known as, or how they want to describe themselves. But if I don't agree with something, then please respect my decisions as well. You know, it's like the UK. Talk about someone in my position having absolutely no benefits whatsoever. This country does not benefit me whatsoever, not one iota. You know,
are you talking about things like tax,
yeah,
all of that?
Exactly. You know, you're talking the highest. You know, I'm talking about people that are in that highest tax bracket. It's like we don't get no priorities with the NHS. We don't get no private dental care. We don't get no private health care. We don't get no private education for our children. It's like, if you're going to be up in that tax bracket paying, let's say 45+% tax. Plus, yeah. By the time you paid the accountant tens of thousands a year to raise an invoice, to give to the government, to them to give that invoice back to you.
And then hire the finance team to manage
exactly,
that.
And then for you to pay that invoice to the,
Yeah.
It's like what are the benefits that I'm getting from my great country?
For employing people.
For employing people, for supporting with this amount of tax, for supporting 30, 40 families a year easily.
Yeah.
What am I getting from this from the government that's going to keep me in this country? Okay, I pay for I've got private healthcare, so I pay for that. Pay for
you also pay for the NHS, by the way, through your tax.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Dental care, same. Education. It's like there's no benefits where they go, right, do you know what, you're paying that and you're paying this amount. It's one system fits all. You're paying this amount. Therefore, surely, you're benefiting the country by giving us all this. We should now benefit you by giving you these little breaks along the way, or these little benefits along the way. But we get none of them.
No.
So what's apart from trying to keep us in the country by saturating us with all these taxes and everything like that, what's the benefits of us actually living in UK society? For me, it's none. But none. I don't get no benefit, none at all. I might as well go and live in the UAE, which is a great, Dubai is a great country that's got great opportunities. You pay for everything out there anyway. You live a better way of life. What's stopping me from going to Dubai? What's stopping me from going to Switzerland? What's stopping me from going to these countries that you do pay for your own way, but I do that anyway in the UK.
You pay twice.
So, yeah, but
because you have to pay for all the public services, and then you can't use them, and then you have to pay for the private ones.
Exactly. So, you know, and I don't even work in the UK. You know, I work in Australia. I work all over the world, and it's like, but it's. I'm not trying to beat the system. I'm not angry at the system. I'm just like, right.
You're not.
Listen, no,
I am.
The thing about it, I'm not angry at this because I'm in it. You know, if I'm that angry with it, get the hell out of it. Which, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm working on leading a more self-sustainable lifestyle where I'm not reliant on any system. You know, I'm not reliant on you know.
Are you talking off-grid eating and electricity here, or are you talking about sort of finances and money and domus where you live?
Yeah, I'm talking about, you know, what I own is mine. You know, it's like if I work for listen, I have no problem paying taxes.
So you won't own nothing and be happy?
No, exactly. You know, but also it's one of those where, you know, I don't mind paying taxes. I don't mind, you know, I'll quite happily pay 20%, you know, 25%, then I'm starting to chomp at the bit. But, you know, by the time you pay the accountant's fees, and you're looking at 50+%.
VAT
right?
20%, corp tax moving up to 25, income tax 45. You pay business rates, you pay national insurance for the employer and the employee's pension contributions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I hire 150 staff. We look at this every week. You think, the salary's 35 grand, but when you add all the bits on, it's not. It's 45 grand.
Exactly.
Two-thirds to three-quarters of what you earn and what you spend is tax.
Yeah. And then,
so I am fucking angry.
And then they keep you, but I'm not, because I'm like, right, listen, I'm a positive thing. I think I can't change the system, but what I can do is I can work my way into a better system, or I can work my way into a better way of life. Because right now, you know, and what really, really gripes me is these companies in the UK aren't seen individually. That it's classed as a company. You know, my company, for example. You know, I don't sit back and it runs itself, and then, you know, I get this money and I go, right, that tax bill, you know, just pay it, because, you know, you don't really see the money coming in. It's running. I work for every single penny that I earn. So when I'm in Australia, for example, or I've just been in Malaysia for 6 weeks, I'm working a day and I'm away from the family. I've got 5 children. I've got a wife. I'm away from the family for 6 weeks. I'm working a day for the government, a day for my family. A day for the government, a day for my family. A day for the government, a day for my family. You know, I'm thinking, well, surely I don't mind working 1 day of the week, well, a 5-day week, right, which is 20%. I don't mind working a Monday from a working day week, from Monday to Friday, a Monday. Or I'll go, right, I can suck up a Monday and work for the government, because, you know, or even, you know, even a day and a half, you know. But when I'm away, grafting, sacrificing time away from my family, sacrificing time away from my children, sacrificing growth of my family, being there as a father, as a role model, and I'm sacrificing all this to give half of my, you know, to do a day on, day off for the government, and then not knowing where my money's going. I can't even audit the government and go, okay, I know that I've given you this amount, you know, hundreds of thousands of tax. I've paid, you know, we're talking even more than that, but I'm just throwing a figure out. Where's that? I can't go, well, I'm not giving you that money until you tell me where it's going. Oh, so you can audit me, but I can't audit you. But I have to raise an invoice, which costs me tens of thousands plus a year, with a team to then give you that invoice, Mr. Government, and then for you to give it back to me and go, oh, actually, you need to put a little bit more on that. Me to go, okay, then sign, and then for me to give you that and not go, oh, where's my money going? This is what blows my mind, where I go, wow, this is where I think the UK, we're just so blasé about everything. And we go, well, everyone pays taxes. I'm like, no, not everyone pays this amount. Why do you think there's no billionaires in the UK? Why do you think that companies are run offshore? Why do you think, you know, there's no, you know... Yeah,
people blame the billionaires and the companies for that. Yeah. Are you saying the UK has a part to play for pushing them out?
Yeah, of course they do. And you know, when you earn your 10 mils plus, it's a different ball game, because, you know, it's a dent in you. But when you earn your, like, you know, your 2 mils, 1.5 mils a year, maybe 3 mil a year, and you're you know, then that's a big dent in you know, you're sitting on that cusp of, you know, I earn a couple of mil a year, but then, you know, it's like, right, where's that money going? And it's, you know, and this is what I think, until you get to that level, until you experience it, then you start to think to yourself, right, I've got to be smarter than this. I've got to, outwit this some way or outplay it, because you can't beat it. And it's just something that really doesn't sit well with me, because my eyes are so open to it. But I'm not angry at it. That's another thing. I know people that I'm not angry at it, because I just get on with my everyday business. My demeanor, or what people, is really reactive. So I never go out to a cause of, to offend, or I never go out to intimidate, or to, my thing is really reactive. So if someone comes at me, I'll throw it back at them. But that's all they see, is that me throwing back at them. But I never go out to upset the apple cart as such. No. But if I don't agree with the apple cart, and those apples are being thrown in my face, then I'll grab them back. I'll pick them up.
I just got this image of you.
I'll pick those pieces off the ground, and I'll throw them back with 10 times the force.
Yeah.
So it's but the way that you're seen and the way that you're portrayed is the media control that, and I can't control that, so I don't try and control what I can't control.
No. I saw an interesting stat. Harry and I went to see one of our guests who we interviewed. He bought a football club, and we went to his football club and hung out with him. Mm-hmm. And he showed us where the government say where they spend your tax money. Mm-hmm. And the highest percentage was other/general. i.e. where the fuck is that? The second highest was the NHS, which has obviously failed. Yeah. And the third highest is interest on government debt repayment. So the top three sources of your tax money is general other, which is probably mostly to the politicians, I'd have thought. The NHS, which has failed and you can't get in, so you have to get private healthcare. Yeah. And then repayment on the 3.1 trillion of debt that they have.
This is what makes me laugh, and this does sort of make me angry. This is when they say you're in debt. And you're like, I've not borrowed a penny off the government. Yeah, but you're in debt to this tax. That debt is when if I was to borrow money off you and I didn't pay it back, then I'm in debt. Just to say we want this amount of money off you, whether you like it or not, and if you don't pay that, then you are in debt to us. It's like, that's daylight robbery. that's if you flip that script into a criminal court and go, well, how much money do you borrow off the government? Not a penny. Well, they're saying that you owe them this. No, I've paid enough tax, but they're saying that you owe this much more, and that you take you to a debts court or whatever it is, or you're in debt to the government. It's like, wow. So for the government to be able to flip that on you, to say that you owe us and you are in debt to us, and I've never borrowed a penny from the government, and I've paid my taxes and I continue to pay my taxes, that's what I think to myself, wow, the system is just, we're so indoctrinated, because it's been so drilled into us that, and also at the very smart at the lower levels. And I'm not saying I'm higher or lower, but at the lower levels of these tax brackets, it doesn't. Yeah, you pay it, and it doesn't really affect you. And it's like, it's not until you get into this position where it really does. You really have your eyes opened, and they are on you. And I mean, on you. You try and get a tax rebate from the government.
If you do, it generally triggers an inquiry automatically.
But automatically it is. Yeah. So, but
not because you done anything wrong, but because there's a refund.
But as soon as they want something off of you, you better pay, because we're coming after you. And it's like, I don't think. And again, it's just my way of leadership. It's like I like to look at things as if I was running this country, or if I was running a kingdom, let's just say, with the monarchy, you look after your people. Everything is individualised. It's like, what job do you do? Okay, right, well, listen, this is how much I think is enough, it's fair that you're going to pay tax. It's like we're all just crammed into this one system where it's like, computer says no, computer says this, whatever it is, it's like, and it's getting worse and worse. Discretion is not being used anymore. We're not taking things on an individual basis. Yeah, it's a case of this is how it works. You either adhere to it or you don't. And businesses are run differently. There's so many different types of businesses out there. Like I said before, I wish I had a business that just I just was smart enough to have a business that just run in the background where I had this money coming. Oh yeah, pay the tax, it doesn't really bother me. Yeah. But because I'm blood, sweat, and tears for every single penny that I earn, and then I go away and I have to give half of that to something I know nothing of, or so I haven't got a clue where it's going or what. Then it starts to gripe me. But then I've just got another challenge on my hands. That's all I see it as. All I see it as another challenge, Rob. I'm just like, but I've got this other challenge too. What's the other challenge, Rob? Try and seek a better, more beneficial life. That's all I'm trying to do for myself and my family. That's all I want to do. To be able to give them options and go, right, you know what you have there, that's yours. That belongs to you. No one can take it from you. No one can, do anything from you. And again, with the pandemic, and the whole thing that happened in Russia, the Russian and Ukraine war, you look at that and you think, these Russians who have some association with the oligarch have had their houses taken off of them. So it doesn't matter that they own
their football clubs.
Their football, their whatever it may be. So it just goes to prove it doesn't matter if you own anything. If the government want to, they can come in and take it off of you, any excuse that they want. To think that, the Abramovich, for example, his £150 million house has been boarded, taken off of him. He paid for that. He owns it. He's like, his bank accounts have been shut down.
They let him in and they let him buy the club when it suited them and all the billions coming in, and then they changed their mind.
And it's like, and I'm not supporting. I'm not here supporting the war. Absolutely not. That's a completely different. But I'm just thinking to that's made me realise nothing actually really belongs to you. If the government want to find an excuse to take it off of you, they will.
Does that not scare you?
Yeah, it does scare me. Yeah, so that's why it's really opened up my eyes, and it's really made me think, right, where on this planet can I seek, or can I go to where I can what I build belongs to me and me only.
But that's what we always used to love about this country, isn't it? You used to be really confident of your ownership rights.
Be under no illusion.
I've got 360 properties, so you're scaring the shit out of me
but
right
as long
now.
as but the thing about it, as long as you adhere to...
Yeah, but this goes back to your point, as long as you adhere. At what point does adhere mean break your own morals and values and bend over and take one, essentially? And you wouldn't do that, would you?
No, but I wouldn't. But the thing about it is...
So you'd lose 360 properties but keep your integrity, would you?
I've lost this, I would say, in finance, I've lost millions probably through deals and sponsorships and work, and because I've stuck true to who I am.
I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Ant Middleton. If you'd like the full, uncut, explicit interview with Ant, you can watch it here. If you want to see high quality guests like Ant, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on.